Yeah, baby. Woo. Yes, baby. Just let go. Let go of procrastination. Let go of fear. And let go of second doubting yourself. Like sometimes it happens to all of us, to the best of us, right? Sometimes we just go on wondering, right? And welcome, my friends. How are you tonight? Welcome to another extraordinary an empowering message, and I don't mean that, but to sound biased, but there's branding behind, branding purposes behind, as you might have noticed, right? Allow me to introduce myself. Wow, I got a little lost there for a second. Here, my name is Jesus DJ Perez, and it is my pleasure to be a broadcasting, live streaming from all the way from Empower Media Global Studios to the comfort of your home. This wonderful evening, I believe it's, what is it, Tuesday? Yes, it is Tuesday indeed. Sometimes, I tell you, the days just go by fast and you just don't know what's going on there, right? But, oh well, Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday evening. I hope everybody is doing well. Fantastic, fantastic, Liz, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining, Liz. I know you've been waiting and you're probably exhausted from, for the day, but thank you so much for joining. It's such a pleasure to be here tonight with all of you amazing, amazing communities, both on Facebook and on YouTube. So tonight, tonight, the message I have for you, is super simple. That could happen to anybody. And like I said to you before, my friends, I teach simple lessons. I share with you simple lessons that I go through the day. I learn, and sometimes I learn those lessons minutes before, or I remember those stories minutes before I press the start streaming button on my computer. And tonight, well, it happens to be one of those nights where I had to go through a busy day, and let's just leave it at that. I had a busy day, and I came to a point that I wanted to have dinner, but I was like, man, what do I want to have for dinner, Decisions, choices, right? Like, what do I want to have for dinner? So I'm thinking here, right? I was like, okay, well, let's go take a look at the fridge. So I opened the fridge, and then I remember at the moment I walked downstairs, I remember I had a medallion, a tuna medallion, defrosting and ready to go. I was like, all right, so well, protein is going to be tuna, and that's awesome because I love tuna, right? And I said, but what can I have it with? I don't want to have the same usual sauce that I make. And they say, okay, well, let's get resourceful here. So I started looking around, and I grabbed my phone and I started recording. I was recording a message to ChatGPT, asking them for suggestions as to what to eat for supper, what to cook, right? And so I said, okay, well, I have tuna, garlic, lime juice. I have honey if we need to. We have rice, plantains, and I started to go through the list of ingredients and seasonings and whatnot, right? And well, it came out with something so delicious, something so good, okay, that that essentially is the tuna with cilantro and jalapeno, chipotle butter sauce. And it was amazing. But you know what? I don't want to just tell you about it. I want to show you here. Let me show you what it looks like, right? So this is the outcome right here. As you can see, this beautiful tuna right here. It has a little bit of cilantro. And I made it on top of a cilantro lime rice, okay? But you see, when I send the picture to my wife, and I say, hey, look what I made for dinner, and the thing is, she's out of town right now, so she's not home. So I say, hey, look, this is what I make myself for dinner. She's like, oh my God, you don't even make this when I'm home. I say, well, it just sounds fancy because ChatGPT, gave me a fancy name, but it really is the tuna with some of the seasoning and ingredients that we have here at home, right? I say, and that is just a little sample of what creativity and it is when it comes down to thinking on your feet and looking for ways to improve the outcome and for ways to just go to town, right, and make something different, something unique. So resourcefulness, creativity, and leveraging technology like AI. And I know AI is very scary for a lot of people. For some other people, they could care less, but the reality is part of our life, right? And a long time ago, long time ago, same thing happened with social media. People were like, whatever is gonna fade out, and people don't kind of care about it. And well, guess what, right? You're watching this video through social media, so so there you go, there you have it, right? So that's just what it comes down to. But really, just it's a matter about resourcefulness and thinking on your feet. And sometimes we get caught up with things and we just don't seem to find a solution of things. And the reality is we don't have to think too hard about it. We can just shift a little bit the angle of the problem, the issue that we may be facing, just shifting the canvas a little bit, right, and reaching out to what you have available at the moment. And right now, as I was about to go live and to end up putting it all together, I was thinking about a story that happened with a long time ago. If you don't notice it, I'm a storyteller, right? I tell you that all the time, right? But this is story, it goes back to probably about 10 years ago. And then, I wanted to have a coffee with a friend. And let's take a look at the comments before I tell this story. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for patiently waiting. Thank you, love. Thank you. I love it. Right? What about you? Yes, exactly. So as I get together with my friend and we're gonna have coffee, he's sharing with him some of his struggles and vice versa. We're there to lean on each other and to build each other up, right? And so he was telling me about this project that he wanted to bid on, and he was talking about a video project that he wanted to bid with the city of Vancouver and everything. And he was just hesitating and he was doubting himself about doing it. And I asked him, well, why are you doubting yourself? Like, why can you not move forward? What's stopping you from actually submitting a bid to these guys? And he said, well, I don't have the equipment. I don't have the resources. I don't have, and he kept on going and going and going. And I don't have a good portfolio. And I don't know if they will like me. And then after he was telling me about all the limitations that he was facing, it's like somebody poured a bucket of cold water on my back, and I went like, whoa. And he's like, dude, what just happened to you? Seems like you just had a revelation. And I was, yes, I did. I just had a revelation. I say, it's like somebody just poured a bucket of cold water all over my back, and I just basically reacted to something so simple. So I say, I have a message for you, man. And he said, sometimes we complain about what we don't have, and we put limits and we put situations where we say that we don't have. And because we don't have something, we surround ourselves and we cannot see past that. Douglas, my brother, how are you? So good to see you here. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. So always good to see you. And as we put these own limitations in front of us, we can't seem to think past those. So I said to him, so you're telling me that you don't have enough equipment, that you don't have enough portfolio, that whatever I said. But let me tell you something here, my friend. What are you doing with what you have been given? What are you doing what you currently have, in other words? I said, that's what I'm asking you, brother. I said, that's the message I got. That's why I jump out of my chair, because it's like, okay, so you can complain all day long about what you don't have, but the question is, what are you doing with what you already have? Whoa. Right? That was the message I was able to share with my brother, with my friend. May God bless his heart. And that just essentially was a great reminder for me this evening when I was like, I wonder what I'm going to make for dinner. And so after thinking a little bit, leveraging artificial intelligence, bam, right? I had a wonderful tuna medallion with butter, chipotle sauce, cilantro, and lime. And then with some lime, cilantro, rice. I know it sounds repetitive, but it was delicious, gotta tell you, right? Even my beautiful lady's like, why don't you make things like this when I'm home? But yeah, man, you see what I'm saying here? Didn't take much. I didn't have to go buy anything. I didn't have to go to the store and embrace the cold right now that we're facing, but rather all I had to do was look around to what was available, leverage from technology in this case with AI, and bang, I had to spend the time preparing it. But are you ready for the closing here? Are you prepared for it? Well, the lesson didn't end right there. The lesson continued, and it will continue creating a ripple effect in people's life, like your life, okay? So that is for sure. So as I'm sitting and I'm enjoying my supper, I found myself grabbing my cell phone. And often, very often, when you grab your cell phone and you're eating, we pay more attention to what we're looking at our phone than what we're actually eating. And you see, I'm reading at this book, Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. And I read this book last year, and they talk about mindful eating. And mindful eating reminds us that, or they actually make a point to remind us that most of the time we don't even taste the food until we are down to the last few bites, because we realize at that point that we're about to finish. So our mind goes from paying attention to our cell phone to actually what's in front of us. And therefore, most of us will not even remember what the food tasted like until those final bites. And it's crazy how these guys, the author of this book, right, Ikigai, let's see, there it is. There you go. As you might have noticed, I'm using a blue screen behind me. So yeah. Anyways, so I immediately put my phone down and I put it away, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna get distracted. I spent a little bit of time cooking this delicious meal. I need to spend the time enjoying this delicious meal. So I practice mindful eating, taking the time to enjoy the food, not just inhaling it like I usually do most of the time, right? I do it all most of the time, and we're watching something and it's doing the same thing, right? So, but my friends, I'm coming to the end of this evening where we have, it's usually a little bit later than usual, but now that we have share with you this beautiful mindful reminder. I just want to wish you a fantastic evening and a fantastic rest of your evening, my friends. I will see you tomorrow as we're on the countdown to February 23rd, where I'll be concluding this 23-day gratitude journey, and perhaps we may continue moving on. We don't know yet. We just taking one day at a time, which is the best we can do. Take one day at a time, and just go from there. So I will see you tomorrow, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure. We'll see you soon.